should absolutely melt them in a team fight. Let's go for a team fight.
Oh, and he just managed to get spotted out there. And they're going to be able to follow this up. There's just nothing to follow it up. Like, fair enough, they do a lot of damage. Well, a lot of stuns, sorry. But there's no big nuke. They have a lot of sustained damage in the form of the right clicks coming out of the Nature's Prophet or the right click coming out of the Lifestealer. But for a Weaver, either you need to kill him in 2 or 3 seconds, or he's going to get away and he's going to come back just stronger.
Yeah, and I don't think that the Dire really have any.
Just look at that damage coming out. It's catching out, yeah.
Murder spree. That blood won't come off.
And I'm pretty confident saying that this will be game. Does manage to actually stop the RP. But this Weaver is going to be able to do so much damage. Like, he's just chasing down this lifesteal. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a dive here. I have a bit of a bug now as I see, I can hear a constant missile coming out from mid.
Ugh. They are playing incredibly passively though, the Radiant. I mean, this game is all but won, and they still have, you know, a hero farming bot, a hero pushing top, and then 2 pushing mid. You know, they're absolutely destroying these team fights. I don't understand why they don't just, you know, keep doing it. Although I suppose, you know, we did say that they do have the late game, so maybe they want to be just extra cautious. But really, you know, when
that's coming here, they do get a bomb out, but this is the problem if you TP, and you can just walk out of this. Great play from the gyrocopter there. I kind of feel it's that Weaver can just happily go in here and do kind of whatever he wants. Like, he does have his time lapse, so unless they completely nuke him down, he's just going to go in there, burn. He'll probably be able to take out the Shadow Demon or even the Mirana just with a couple of right clicks, Sakuchi, and then there's the burn damage from the Radiance. Nature's Prophet has TP'd up top, and he's going to take out the top tower, but at the same time, he's not really going to do anything. And he's possibly going to lose his life here just to the Visage, and he is. Soul Assumption is so strong, especially when you couple that up with the Medallion of Courage as well, just reducing the armor to so much damage.
I mean, you know you're in trouble when you're Nature's Prophet and your split pushing doesn't work against one support. You know, that was a split push with a Shadow Blade. Shadow Blade was popped, but he still died to one lone support, which is you're in a pretty horrific situation as Nature's Prophet, really, when that's happening.
Kind of taking a look at the last hits and the net worth is fair enough, the Lifestealer is on top for last hits, but it's gone towards crazy items as I just really can't understand it. Then the next 3 heroes are all the Radiant. Like, net worth, again, it's obviously it's from we're looking at the last hits, is that Lifestealer is on top, followed by Weaver, followed by Gyrocopter, followed by Magnus, followed by Visage, followed by Lich. So it's not really going well for them at the moment.
No, I mean, this game is clear. I mean, the Nature's Prophet net worth is scary. I mean, looking at the net worth, the only thing really keeping them in it is the Lifestealer. But I mean, the Lifestealer, a lot of that net worth has gone towards Boots of Travel, which is going to do absolutely nothing for him in terms of, you know, fighting. And obviously then the Hand of Midas, which again is another item that's, you know, you get a bit of attack speed off it, fair enough, but, you know, apart from that, it's going to do nothing for you. It does looks like he's going to build an AC, which is going to help quite a lot. I mean, that'll synergize well with Mirana and Nature's Prophet as well. But I mean, you know, I said it before, but the Radiant just need to stop farming, need to stop split pushing, just ball down mid, ball down top.
Yeah, they're going to finish the game pretty much.
Finish the game, yeah.
It would take, I'd reckon, 2, possibly 3 full team wipes from the Radiant by the Dire for the Dire to kind of pull this back. But I kind of feel is that the Nature's Prophet, looking at his items, like, he has 2,500 gold, so like, what's he going to build that's really going to be that effective? He could possibly get an Orchid, which will help with pickoffs, but the only problem is he's getting locked down at every turn. Mirana has a Maelstrom up at the moment, but again, she doesn't really have the damage for that to be effective. She's running out in that level 13 versus the Weaver, who's now level 19. Still, he's 8-0. He has a massive lead, and he's pretty much unstoppable at this stage. He could go for a Lincoln Sphere here just to be incredibly safe. Like, that'll stop the dispersion, it'll stop the Sand King stun, it'll stop the arrow, it'll stop pretty much all these targeted skills. Even though Lifestealer is going to have up this AC, I really don't think it'd be in that big turning of an item.
No, I mean, it is a good item on Lifestealer, which is nice because Lifestealer has bought some questionable items in this game. But no, as you say, I mean, there's nothing really that that the Dire can do. I mean, were I Nature's Prophet, I'd definitely try and buy something that, you know, is a supporting item. So, I mean, like an Orchid would be great, a Silence would be nice. Or I mean, I say a Sheep Stick, but that's just so far in the distance.
That's a long way away.
Long way away.
He could get one part of it, and then I'm sure it'll take him a long time to get the next part. Like, he is trying to split push, but the only problem is that this team has so much global presence that they're constantly moving over the map. As Weaver can cross the map so quickly, is that if the Nature's Prophet is pushing, he can get there and he can do the damage. Followed by, like, let's say the Visage, who can get those creeps all over the map. He can stun you down and keep you there. And you have the Blink Magnus coming in as well. So even if the Nature's Prophet does manage to get a Shadow Blade off, the fact is that he can be followed so easily.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened there. I mean, I think the Nature's Prophet stayed in a bit too late to try and get the tower. But I mean, he popped the Shadow Blade there, and it didn't work to a lone support. So yeah, I mean, split pushing now is extremely risky for him as well. I suppose what you could probably do is wait for the Radiant to go down 5-man, you know, and then TP to the other side of the map and start pushing that, because you know that there's 5 people in that team fight, and you're safe enough to do that. But I mean, he needs to be really, really careful, because you know he's so far behind now that doing the typical Nature's Prophet stuff around this time isn't going to work, because he's just so easily picked off.
Definitely. So we do get the restart now. I think they're just actually having a little bit of connection issues, but we'll kind of see how they play out the next couple of minutes. But I kind of feel that this game is going to change in the next 10 minutes, either for the better or the worse for the Dire. If they can't do anything pretty much in the next 10 minutes, it's going to just be over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really up for the Dire to do anything, to be honest. They have to react to what the Radiant is going to do. I think it would be stupid to try and force anything. You need to try, you know, get your farm up in the jungle or in some safe lanes, and then try and win this, try and counter initiate and get pickoffs like this in the Weaver. I mean, if it did work, which
he's gone.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked.
Oh, that is a good disruption coming out. But the only problem is Radiance is burning through it.
Like, oh, that's a really good arrow. They're going to get
it. And he just managed to actually get away. Oh, and he's pulled straight back in. It looked like he was away there, but I think the stun came out and just kept him there.
Yeah, that was a crucial arrow. A crucial arrow there by Mirana, because the Burrow Strike went off and missed, and put it on cooldown. So after the disruption, it was up to Mirana to initiate. So I'm just noticing now that the Radiant have Naz back up.
Yep.
So yeah, sorry, just quickly to finish up. I mean, it was a really good Mirana arrow because it was all reliant on that. And fairly enough, it was fairly easy to land. She was quite close, but if Mirana hadn't landed that arrow, if it hit something else, that Weaver would have been home and dry.
Definitely.
But they're probably going to pay for this now.
Mm-hmm. We see even the Lich could possibly consider throwing it as this Mirana needs to just either TP or go down the map. She doesn't need to try and help. She just needs to get out. Like, it'll be interesting to see what she does here, because I kind of feel is that she will go in, and they're possibly going to pay the price for it. She does have her ult though, but the only problem is great ward coming out from this Lich. She's already decided that we're getting kills here, so wouldn't be surprised to see if the Lich actually initiates it with a Magnus Blink Skewer or Blink RP to try and catch these two, just to bring those ults together. The Visage is very close to possibly scouting at this Lifestealer, but I don't even know who would actually win that fight. I kind of feel that at this moment the Lifestealer will, but the Visages are coming in, so unless he gets off his rage, he can be stunned with that Medallion, with the Soul Assumption, even the Grave Chill. But this Lifestealer, with the build he's gone, strange as it is, he is quite quick.
Yeah, I mean, the Lifestealer is very farm now. He's level 18, the Visage is level 14. If they do meet, the Lifestealer would tear him apart. But just on the Mirana, I think it was a I mean, it's not a tactical pause, I'm not going to say that, but that pause was very, very fortunate, because that Mirana, you can see, was on her way back, but now that she's time to assess the situation, I mean, it's fairly simple for her now. She just goes down, follows down the lane and hits her ult, and then, you know, circles around, and she should be fine. But the two supports are going to die.
Although, the Sand King possibly might be able to get away. He doesn't have his Burrow Strike, but if he can just get beyond the range of this Sentry Ward, he should be fine.
Yeah, the Blink RP, I imagine, is going to come in, and that should do it. Just looking at the net worth now, actually quite interesting that the Nature's Prophet has gone up. He has now his Ultimate Orb, which has skyrocketed him up above the Visage and Lich. And Moran as well, so I mean, it's still heavily No, that's not correct. Sorry, my net worth
I
is.
think I think this game is quite buggy at the moment. Based as well on the DCs. Yeah, it's been an interesting game to say the least. But
Yeah.
kind of we can take a look at the items that are coming out in the different heroes. Lich has gone for the tranquil boots. Kind of, I guess it's because that's the only thing he really can go for. There's no point in going for mana boots because he has his sacrifice. But I kind of feel is that tranquils are so underpowered at the moment. As I myself personally, I haven't found myself building them on heroes as of late. Kind of the Magnus is ready to go. He has his bottle, mana boots, blink, and BKB. Looking at the gyrocopter, he's got up his BKB.
Sorry, just cut through that. I mean, tranquil boots are amazing item now on some supports. The movement speed is absolutely huge. So if you look at the tranquil boots now, it's 85 movement speed, and then you compare it to say 55 movement speed on the arcanes. I'm trying to find other heroes with
50
other
on the
boots.
phase.
50 on the face. So the movement speed is absolutely massive. So when you're a support that as a support, you're not going to really right click that much. What you're going to do is you're going to initiate fights and stuff like that. So they're so good on the heroes like Crystal Maiden or Lich or a support Venge or a Venomancer, because obviously you're going to be faster than your opponent. It'll get you to scenarios quicker, and then you can initiate those team fights a lot easier. So yeah, I mean they were. They haven't been buffed or nerfed because
They've been
they're
changed.
yeah, they've been changed. They're a lot stronger than before, but obviously that the fact that you can't disassemble them, and then the fact that they kind of turn off when you right click, and not turn off, but a lot of the benefits go away, means that a lot of heroes that used to build into tranquils and then onto something greater like Phantom Lancer or Axe, for example, they're absolutely useless on them now. So really they've just been changed to be a really, really good kind of place 4 or 5 role pair of boots. If you're not going to get arcanes and you're a support, then tranquils is a great option.
That's what possibly you see it as well on heroes that they can get their mana back, like supports especially. They're going to catch out one.
Yeah, they're just going to go on the Shadow Demon. That's interesting. And Miranda did as we expected she to. Oh, but
See, at the same time as the Visage has, yeah. Just put a lot of damage on it, and he's actually going to lose his life. He's just away. Losing these familiars is never good, just because it's put so much gold in the favour, and he does actually deny. Great deny there. That was 1 for 2. The Weaver did go down, the Visage did go down, but it's the kind of gyrocopter you really need to worry about. Like, he's at 3,500 gold, so I'm not actually sure what he's going to go for.
Well, getting pick off from the Weaver is huge. I mean, that's his first death, right? I think
Yeah.
it's his first death. So yeah, that pickup was absolutely massive.
Radiant's middle tower has
Even
fallen.
more so than the gyrocopter, I'd argue. Just because that Weaver was falling out of control. Now it's going to take a lot more of them to get them back into the fight. But also just quickly looking at the net worth, it makes for very interesting reading. I mean, the Nature's Prophet and the Miranda actually were correct when we were looking at them, so that stands. But obviously, as well, the Lifestealer now is just so far ahead. Now the Weaver has picked up his Demon Edge. That'll shoot him back up.
Yeah.
But really, this Lifestealer now looking quite scary, and I feel that the Radiant now are perhaps being punished for their passiveness. Really, I mean, this game is still massively in their favor, but really, the longer this goes, I think the scarier Lifestealer and Nature's Prophet are becoming. That those Midases are starting to pay off, and really, they need to start doing something. And they need to start doing something pretty soon.
They have initiated on the Lifestealer, but no, it's just rage off that stun, but it's going to get taken out.
But again, I mean, they have 4 people mid, and Weaver's top. I mean, Weaver's the highest level, their biggest damage dealer.
And they're just leaving it go.
Yeah. I mean, for a team that has such strong team fight, with the blink initiate or repeat now, he does have an Elysium which could be fairly lethal. But for a team that has such great initiation, they're being so passive.
Finally see that the Bashers come out in the way of the Lifestealer, and this is going to be great. It's going to be able to just lock down heroes so effectively. And the fact is that he's so quick, he can get in there, he can do the damage, he can just completely shut them down. Miranda may lose her life here, as the Magnus is waiting for us. but he
Yeah, I
can't see
think
anyone
Magnus
else.
is ready for more than just one hero.
Radiant's bottom tower is under siege. Dire's top tower
Here,
has
might come.
fallen.
Yeah.
It's a call down,
Radiant's
but he
down
does
for
bottom
that
go.
completely,
tower
but-
is being attacked. You might want to look into that.
The only problem is Jericho, or is he away? He is.
Radiant's bottom
We do see
tower
the
is
Magnus does
under
go in there, but
siege.
it's BKB, but he's kind of sitting on top of a. Oh, and then Morana ult or Arrow does come in and hit the Weaver, but they lost in Sand King there. They didn't lose a single hero on the Radiant team,
Radiant's
and
bottom tower is
you know
being
it's just
attacked.
effective team fighting.
Yeah.
Didn't use the
and
Lich
it was-
ults. Didn't they just fair enough? The call down whiffed, but the Magnus did get off his RP, but did manage to take out that Sand King. Was able to just sit through the ult because he did have his BKB.
The Magnus actually cancelled the RP, so they didn't really use any big team fight. But it was a bit of a messy team fight, really. I mean, they had the perfect chance to initiate, but Magnus was, I think, being a bit too greedy. He didn't want to just catch the one or two heroes. He wanted to really hit a massive RP, and it just wasn't right. And the medallion goes off, and Roche looks like they're going to try and take this. The Dire are going to have full vision.
But they need to be getting in. They need to stop this now.
Yeah, but this is what I've been screaming out for the whole game. I mean, fair enough that the Dire have vision, but I mean, what are they really going to do? There's such strong counter initiation here with the RP into Lich ult.
And the
Arrow
actually
whiffs.
managed to stun the Roshan, which is actually just making it easier for the Raiden at this stage. Does leap in, does jump out.
Far too early.
Oh, and did they catch it?
Oh, he
Can't even see. Lifestealer did get it. He's going to come back.
pick up.
But the only problem is the whole team is there just to nuke him down. Nature's Prophet coming in at a mad time. RP does, or the Lifestealer does come out. But he's been sprouted, so he can TP out. Can't really say that was worthwhile.
No, I mean, fair enough, you did steal the Aegis, and that's always nice to see. But yeah, you just lost 4 heroes. I thought it would be a bit too early that they leaped in, but Roshan shot down once Miranda jumped in. But yeah, I mean, now I think the Radiant or the Dire need to just push, but Weaver goes back to the jungle.
Needs that
He
farm.
has his MKV up now as well. But, I mean, this
they just need to end it. Like they literally do not need to farm. They don't need to fight. They can take these team fights so convincingly. Is all they're kind of doing is they're just letting the game go on when it doesn't need to.
Yeah, it's getting to the steady stage now. I mean, we saw a stolen Aegis attempt there, and they still wiped the entire team. So yeah, and a butterfly picked up in the gyrocopter. I think at this point it's I don't know. It's just it doesn't really make for great watching. The Dire are pretty much down and out. The Radiant have this wrapped up. They just need to push, but they want to keep farming.
Does this right as those familiars? They're actually they're immune to magic, and they do pick up. And that's 200 gold. Like at this stage of the game, it's not massive, but it still is. That's a lot of gold just to push the way of your enemy team for no reason at all.
Yeah, and also feeding familiars is bad, but also you can see that his familiars are gone now for another minute, and that's the really. Visage is quite like Lone Druid in that sense, where if you take down his pet, he's
Radiant's
you can
top
still
tower
he'll do
is
a lot
being
more than Lone
attacked.
Druid will, but those Visagelets are so important, especially if he's an Ags up on them, and now he's kind of neutered really for another 40 seconds.
Yeah.
But with the passiveness of this game, I don't think it's really going to matter.
I kind of hope against hope, that Lifestealer picks up a Divine Rape. Just cause
Yeah,
they're down and out. We do see the side device has come out from the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, it's a good
Not
pickup.
really going to be doing that much. Like fair enough, you take out the Weaver, you still have the Gyrocopter. You take out the Gyrocopter, you have the Weaver. They don't have enough lockdown.
Well, I mean, a side device is always extreme.
Oh yeah, always. Oh, not
it's-
going against it in that sense. But just
Yeah.
what I mean is that had he had it up earlier or had an Orchid and was able to push, but the fact is he got shut down so effectively, he just hasn't been able to be useful.
No, but I think with this side device, he will now start to become useful. I mean, if you sheep a Weaver, the damage I think is starting to be there for the Dire with Mirana and Lifestealer, that you can really nuke that Weaver down in the duration of the sheep, or at least train it into a stun, so like into a berserk.
Mark,
Yeah.
it's a rapier.
Oh,
It's
no.
coming.
Oh, he has a
ready.
demon edge.
Get ready.
Okay, well now I'm rooting for the Radiant. The Dire, sorry.
They,
Okay, we're gonna finally see a push down mid here.
Yeah.
I think.
but
Thank God.
fair enough, they're going to take this tower, I'd say pretty convincingly. But at the same time, Lifestealer, he is down bottom. He can take that tower, possibly can keep pushing, but then he can be right back in the fight.
Yeah, I think this is. He needs to TP now. He's not.
I think he wants to straight farm this this Divine Rapier and just make something happen. Going to give him 500 DPS. Be interesting to see how this actually plays out. They're going to lose this this Rax, I feel.
Yeah, I mean.
Dire's middle tower has
But
been
the fact is, can
destroyed.
this Lifestealer down bot, can he actually take this
Radiant's
down?
bottom tower
I don't
has
think that
been
the Radiant
attacked.
have noticed. There's no TPs down. This is no glyph. Okay, well here's
Finally, see
TP.
the TP coming out, 2 TPs.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
And Lifestealer's just going to walk away from this.
Okay, yeah, one counter TP.
Double
Yeah.
kill.
The RP goes off and catches. It
Just
off
TPing
and
in.
suckers down.
Oh, he does catch out the Lich. We're going to see the RP coming out. It has been refreshed, but he doesn't have the mana for it.
Now he has it.
Oh, great infest, and he's turning around. This Lifestealer. This Lifestealer has just turned this game from a loss to possibly a great defense. He has turned back in, but the only problem is that that Lifestealer has a butterfly, and he needs to back out. He's done his damage. Oh, he does manage to catch out this dry cup, but the only problem is when you have that that butterfly, and they've turned this to a ridiculous degree. They lost 1 Rax there. Let's come on, go get your Rapients, your Rapients, your Radiance. Oh God, what have I done? Go get your Rapier, not your Radiance. And he's possibly going to scout out these familiars. And he has more gold going his way.
Well, if ever there was a sign that you should get a rapier, it's one manning, 4 of your opponents.
He needs to go pick that out. It turns out that the Lifestealer. Oh, he hasn't. He's gone an MKB.
He's gone MKB. Yeah, the safe one.
Lifestealer. You got so
Yeah.
much potential, and you've let me down.
He's done the smart thing, and the gyrocopter has the butterfly. So the MKB is gonna neuter that. But now, I mean, this is what we were kind of warning about 10 minutes ago, that the Radiant have just been so passive. They've let this Lifestealer come into the game, and I don't think it's going to change anything. I mean, he's going to be pretty nasty to deal with, but really, when there's only one hero carrying your team, he can be kind of neutered fairly quickly. Just one of these supports needs to pick up some sort of crowd control, side device or something, and that'll pretty much stop him.
But the only problem as well is that Nature's Prophet has finally entered, well, a little bit late, but he's entered into his pushing phase. Like you can see, he is doing pretty decent damage. And with that side device up, he can actually he can TP and push a lane, and he can either side device invis out, and he's fine, and just TP away. What you see is the Sand King is looking here for initiation. The Lifestealer is inside him, but the only problem is they have to catch just one hero. Because if they catch, like let's say they have the Weaver and the Lich here, if they catch those two, they pop out. That's the Lich ult coming out, and then just huge damage in the way of the Weaver. They have smoked here, so they're looking to loop around here, but the only problem is they can't see where everyone is. Oh, if they catch out this Visage, this would be a great pick. There we go. Oh, huge fluff there. And Visage does absolutely melt down.
Great teamwork, you vicious thugs.
And Nature's Prophet is happily away. Now, what they should do is, while they're here, they should just barrel down mid. The only problem is they have no creeps, but I'm pretty sure that they would be able to tank it up, as while the rest of the heroes are up in the top. Do we see that they're actually buying TPs? We see both TPs on them, right. So, the dynamic of the game is completely shifted now, and I think it's basically because they've left this Lifestealer. Radiant had this game, as you said, they had it wrapped up in a bag, and they've just let it kind of catch up. Not necessarily saying is that it's completely over, but the fact of the matter is there's a little bit more potential coming out in the way of this Lifestealer now.
Yeah, I mean, it's the game, as we were saying, is still heavily favoured in the Radiant. I mean, as soon as Lifestealer goes down in a fight, which he will, if they initiate properly, if they get an RP off or something, if he goes down in a fight, then really the Dire's potential to team fight has just absolutely collapsed. So yeah, I mean, it's up to the Magnus now. He needs to initiate on the Lifestealer. Even a one-man RP skewer onto Lifestealer would be fine, as long as you get that Lifestealer.
He could straight pick up his Abyssal Blade now, which would be great. I kind of would like to see him getting rid of this Sanjin Yasha.
Yeah, they go back to the jungle. I don't really know what the Radiant's game is here. They're just so hesitant to push.
You can see is now that Well, Gyrocopter is just getting absolutely fed gold down the bot here. He's primed to pick up another item. I kind of feel as that a Manta style would be nice.
Yeah, Manta style would be nice. It synergizes nicely with Butterfly.
Oh, an invis on this Magnus. He's going to go in for it.
The Weaver
Oh,
gets-
and the two huge blink in. And oh, the RP does manage to catch it too, but the only problem is this Lifestealer is still alive. He's going to be turned, he's going to be able to eat the
Weaver
face, but the only
cheap
problem is look at
six.
this
Weaver's gonna
huge damage coming out.
The Weaver goes back.
He buys back and he time lapses in.
Buyback. Huge buyback by the Weaver.
Yeah,
And
and that's game.
I mean, that was looking really, really scary there for the Radiant. I mean, Weaver first off dove far too far and went completely past the Lifestealer and got caught out badly. But that buyback into time.
3 buybacks here now. Yeah, it's one of the underrated things about Weaver is the fact that he can just get straight back into the fight.
Dire has fortified its structures.
That's some heavy backdoor protection there. No problems, they just go straight back in and take it.
Magnus, if he could.
Dire's middle
Yeah.
barracks has been
I
destroyed.
feel the Magnus isn't aggressive enough in this game. He really hasn't gone for the blink RPs at
Dire's
all.
top tower is under siege.
Lifestealer was kind of alone there. They had their 3 most damaging heroes up. If he blinked into the Lifestealer and RP'd him,
Radiant's
the
bottom
Lifestealer
tower
would have
is
melted,
being
I reckon.
attacked.
Just throw out the call down, which is going to slow, which is enough. He's never going to get enraged, just needs to back out.
No, nice use of Colin. Oh, and the Visage, it's almost taking out the Shadow Demon. He should be fine though. He's probably going to lose more of these new dudes.
Oh, and one manages to get away, but Mirana throws out the arrow yet again. Does get stuck up on the cliff. She
Poor
is going
Sappy
for an
Shadow
MKB as well. They do look to be rotating towards this Roshan, and this Lifestealer should be able to take it pretty quick, but needs to possibly sell off that Midas.
Yeah, I think the Midas has done this job now. And this has been seen by the Radiant. They're going to rotate. The cooldowns up,
Yeah.
or P's up.
They need to take
Shane
this
Frost
pretty
is-
quickly and just go. He has sold the Midas.
Oh, Magnus is initiated. That's a big initiate.
The problem is the Lifestealer is still just happily farming away at this. Can he actually
Yeah.
get it down to actually be relevant? He should be able to actually kill this and then just walk away with the invis.
Roshan has been killed by the
Oh, a huge
big
RP.
Oh, the infest. Great infest.
Oh, and he actually takes them out of the call down. And Lifestealer's coming in. He wants the blood. And they're turning this quite effectively.
And
He does have, yeah.
Double kill.
And he just managed to come back.
Right there.
Spree.
Now this Lifestealer is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, do they have this though?
Slow.
Yeah,
He's
he's
gone.
Radiant's
dead.
bottom tower is under siege.
Well, the rage might get him out of it.
Radiant has
The only problem is
fortified
he's
its
been eaten
structures.
away by that swarm. And it's caught with an RP.
Radiant's bottom tower is being
I
attacked.
think that was called for.
So there's that.
The Nature's Prophet should get out here.
And
Radiant's top
nice
tower
Matter
is
branches
under
dropped by
attack.
the Visage up top.
It'll probably be
Bot,
fine.
rather.
But again, we can
Radiant's
see
top
there, I
tower
mean,
is
that
being
fight
attacked.
there was pretty much a 5v4 with Lifestealer staying in the Roshan pit, which I think, you know, he's perfectly entitled to do. I think it was probably the right call. But you can see in a fight without Lifestealer, the Dire just absolutely melts. And that's the real problem that they face, that there's no one to pick up Lifestealer's slack when he is either not around or goes down first. And it is a Manta on the Gyrocopter.
So you can kind of see, fair enough, they did get the Roche out of that, but it was popped straight away, and it's. I kind of feel that they need to have more heroes there. And this Visage is going to lose his life here. Does have a solo some. Oh, that's a great arrow coming out. And they're just going to easily just take the gem back, and they can just walk away from this. Kind of that's the pickup they need. But the only problem is it's still there's no real answer to what's going on at the moment. Like Lifestealer's down for another 20 seconds. He does have a lot of gold up. I kind of feel as that Abyssal Blade would be good to possibly stun down. Like let's say if he stuns the Weaver. Weaver has his heart up now, but still he just melts so quickly.
Yeah, I mean the heart's going to be pretty big for him. I think though, I mean when you're sitting at 2,700 health and you only have 12 armor is really what you want to look for. More health it's going to give you diminishing returns. I think if Ice Armor stays up on him, he goes he goes to 21, which is a lot better. I mean, with 21 armor and 2700 health, you're going to be fairly hard to kill, especially if you have a time lapse.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's up to the Lich to keep that castle on the whole time.
And we see another boss coming out. I wonder now, would an assault cuirass on a Weaver, just kind of theory crafting here, I kind of feel that at this stage in the game, just in the fact is that he is such a hard carry, is that just to keep him alive, that additional armor, the additional attack damage, and the fact is that it'll effectively cancel out both
Dire's bottom
Yeah,
tower is under attack.
Assault Cuirass I think will be a good pickup on Weaver right now.
Dire's bottom tower is being
It gives him the armor,
destroyed.
it gives him the attack speed. But really, I mean, Weaver doesn't. I don't think Weaver needs anything else really. He should be strong enough to. He should be strong enough to fight with these items. I mean, the Radiant are fed to all hell. You know, they don't need to farm anymore. They just need to push and finish the game.
yeah, look at the damage coming out.
Dire's
They don't even
structures
need to
are
back,
under
just stay there
attack.
and just do the damage.
Radiant's
See Necrobook
top
coming
tower
out,
is under attack.
Shiva's coming out, the Magnus, and the Invisiblade finally coming out onto the Lifestealer. But it's all great having these
Radiant's
big
top
items on
tower has
the heroes you
fallen.
need, but just look at the damage they put out just so quickly.
I mean,
It's like,
look how passive
Dire's
the
bottom
Radiant
tower
are.
has
I mean,
fallen.
Lifestealer is not here, but they're still hanging
he's
about.
here now. See now
Yeah,
what he
he's
can
there,
do.
and the RP should be coming out. Here it is.
It has missed the Lifestealer, and Lifestealer's
Both of them.
just doing so much damage here. Do we see the RP coming out again? Oh, and the stun coming out there.
Murder spree.
Yeah, but the Weaver is just too strong.
Double kill.
I'm sorry, Master.
Oh, the Lifestealer has brought back.
Dire's bottom
But he
tower
needs to
is
focus down
being
this Weaver. Weaver does not have time lapse, but he does his Sakuchi, so he can't just walk away.
Dire's middle tower is under siege. Radiant's top tower is
never
under
gonna catch him, is he?
siege.
Oh, unfortunately that does actually miss, but Soul Assumption has ended.
It's a dead visage.
These are kind of like the final death throws.
Dire's middle
They are
tower
getting
is
kills,
being
but at the same
attacked.
time is they can't really capitalize on this. All the lanes are pretty pushed up. Is like unless the Nature's Prophet TPs, but the only problem is Weaver can take the Nature's Prophet down so much. So if you took the Nature's Prophet,
Dire's
the
middle
and
tower has
the
been
Nature's Prophet with
destroyed.
some dust possibly, and the Lifestealers, you possibly could take out the Weaver and push that lane back. But you're going to see just how quickly Weaver can actually push it back with that Radiance and the fact that he's Sakuchi and his Geminate attack.
Yeah, just going back to the team fight there, I think huge misplays by the Magnus. He took far too long to blink in. Lifestealer was pushing top that whole time. If he blinked in, you know, to the first 10 seconds of that kind of skirmish, they would have wiped the four of the players, and then Lifestealer would have to one man on his own, which wouldn't work. And then when he actually did go in, he completely missed the Lifestealer, not once but twice. In RP 2 heroes, while the Lifestealer was, you know, tearing through his team, then refreshed, didn't move, and RP'd again. Fair enough, you're locking down the two heroes, but I mean, you know, look at this game. There's only one hero that you have to worry about in this game. You know, one hero. Yet the Lifestealer, you know, do a double RP on just the Lifestealer. That would work just fine.
We see a Daedalus just straight being bought for this Weaver, and he's going to be able to do a lot more damage. He's currently sitting at nearly 400 damage? 300 damage, sorry. But I think this Lifestealer is actually going to go for an Iascadi.
Yeah, he has the
Orb of Venom.
he has picked up the Orb of Venom.
We commented on the start of the game that it was such a strange build, but it is strange. I'm not going to in any way, shape or form deny that, but it is paying dividends now, but it took so long for this to actually come online.
And the Gyrocopter, okay,
Magnus has gone in,
gone
there's the RP. Need to drop down this call down.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge pickup here.
Has actually infested the creep, I think. He has infested the creep, he's safe.
Don't
This-
think that the
yeah.
Radiant has spotted it. Oh, there
And
he
he's
is.
away.
Dire's courier has fallen.
Weaver's going for this. Bit dangerous.
Kill.
We admit no
Accustom
defeat.
yourself to loss.
Dire's bottom barracks is under attack.
And the arrow does whiff. Oh no, it caught the
Dire's
Weaver.
bottom barracks has been destroyed.
But at this stage, GG really needs to be called. They just let them push an end. Like, looking at the lanes, like, fair enough, they're kind of pushing out, but they've no way to capitalise on it. We do see this huge skewer in. Lich Ult does come out, just manage to catch out the Mirana, but the Lifestealer is going to turn around. He's just actually going to destroy this Magnus. Magnus does actually go down, but then so does the Lifestealer. We see a TP in then from nobody.
Yeah, and this
cancelled.
will be GG.
Yeah, and it's been called there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And this Nature's Prophet, just he never got off the ground.
Victory for Radiant.
No, I mean, the Lifestealer was obviously the one hero that was keeping them in the game, but I mean, his build was just so weak in the mid game. And had Radiant been a bit braver and gone for the push about half an hour ago, I don't think we'd still be talking anymore. This game would be over. But they decided to sit back and farm. They had the harder carries, so they sat back and farmed. And I mean, yeah, fair enough. I mean, it was just Lifestealer in the end who was going to do anything to stop them, and the Lifestealer wasn't going to be able to man fight. I mean, even at the end there, we saw it was a Gyrocopter, Magnus, and Lich, I think, and they were able to take out the Lifestealer fairly handily. So yeah, I mean, I think really after half an hour, all they were doing was delaying the inevitable.
Yeah. Definitely in this game, I think I'm going to have to give the man of match to the Weaver. Like, he was so effective in his lane and he farmed so efficiently. I suppose we can keep saying is that they farmed too long, but in the end, they did win the game. But that's been another episode of That's Dota. I've been Gus, and I've been joined today by Mark. Mark, thanks so much for coming. I'm sure we'll have you again. And thanks to everyone for watching, and tune in again next time.
Yeah, thanks guys.